Well, hello everyone. Let's go ahead and get started. My name is Tom Johnson, and I'm the director of EOGogic's Web Live programs. Having been involved in computer-based training in one form or another for more than 25 years now, it's my pleasure to welcome each of you to this Web Live session. For those of you who may be new to EOGogix, I'll refer you to the About EOGogix page on our website. Suffice to say that the EOGogix team, led by KK Aurora, has been involved in many landmark telecom projects worldwide during the last 20 years or so. In fact, I'm pretty sure KK is in the audience here somewhere.
Thank you, Tom. Good morning and welcome to the class.
Thank you, KK. Since WebLive may be a new medium for some of you, let me tell you a little bit about how the session will work. First of all, this is a live program. It's being presented from a number of different locations around the United States and delivered via the Internet, which, as I'm sure you all know, is the world's largest send and pray network. So if the gremlins get you and you can't hear the audio, please try the teleconference line. If you get bumped off the Internet and you can't get back on, please try to listen on the phone and follow along as best you can with the PDF of the class slides, which can also be used for note-taking and later review. Now, if you would, please take a minute to look around your screen. What you're seeing right now is called the Leaders View. It has a stack of panels on the left, attendees, feedback, and chat. And then there's a content window to the right. And up above the attendees panel, some icons and menus across the top. Notice the icon of the raised hand. You click it once to raise your hand, click it once again to lower your hand. The blue square a little to the right of the hand toggles full screen mode. Once we get started, I'm going to put everybody into full screen mode to make sure the slides are easy to read. Let me show you what it looks like. Put it here, and that, whoops, I managed to get my own. I did not manage to get everyone else's. Let me do that again. There. And that's what full screen mode looks like. Notice the little semi-transparent block down in the lower right-hand corner. You'll recognize the hand toggle, the hand raise icon, and the screen mode toggle icon. You have complete access to all of the items there in that transparent panel. Just move your mouse over it, and they all become active. Now, for most of the class, we probably suggest that you leave your screen in full screen mode, but it's up to you. If you want to toggle back and forth, feel free to. Just click the blue icon, and you can go back and forth to leader view. Finally, please note the chat window. The public chat is just that. It's public, so do be conscious of what information you decide to share there. The private tab allows you to communicate privately amongst yourselves and with the instructor. If you're not dialed into the telephone conference bridge, please use the chat window to communicate with the instructor and to ask questions during the class. And finally, for those on the phone bridge, if it gets a little too noisy, I'll jump in from time to time and mute all the phone lines. Please just ignore any announcements you might hear. For those of you who are on the phone, a couple of keystrokes for you to keep in mind. *6 mutes your personal telephone line, and *7 unmutes it. Now, let me take a moment to introduce our instructor for today. Our instructor is Frank Ortman, who is a principal member of the EOGogix Telecommunications faculty. You can view his detailed bio on the website, but I'd like to say just a few words by way of introduction. Frank teaches the EOGogix courses on 4G, WiMAX, Wi-Fi, SIP, and Voice over IP. He also provides consultation on RFP design and vendor selection to those involved in implementing broadband networks as part of the BTOP program that's included in the Economic Stimulus Act. Frank's teaching and consulting career builds on his 20-plus years experience in telecommunications and electronic warfare. A firm believer in learning by doing, a tidbit for you here, he even operated a small WiMAX network of his own for a while. Frank has published several research reports and 4 books covering topics such as WiMAX, Wi-Fi, Voice over IP, and the emerging all-IP architecture. And now, without further ado, Frank Ortman. Frank, I'm not hearing you. Try a *7.
How about if I take my my phone off mute?
That will work very well as also.
There we go. I was only following orders. Yeah, well, obviously by now you've digested the intellectual property rights notices page and have no doubt have many questions on that. But let's move on to what you signed in for, WiMAX Technology. Session 1, as you may know, we have a two-day class live to this morning as well as to tomorrow morning. But let's get into this. And what we're going to do today is talk about WiMAX, obviously. But what I found is the easiest way to discuss any sort of telecommunications network is in terms of the 3 A's. Access, that is, how do you access the network? Applications, what are you going to do with it? And affordability, does it make business sense? So most of today will focus on access, technology itself. Well, what is WiMAX? As I'm sure you're aware by now, it is an IEEE spec. 802.16d is the 6th version of WiMAX, ratified by the IEEE in 2004. And worldwide interface for microwave access, 802.16e is the mobile variant, ratified by the IEEE in 2005. And soon we will see 802.16m, which is an upgrade to the mobile variant. And as the diagram shows here from a very high overview, point-to-point line-of-sight range of WiMAX is at 30 miles, pushing 72 megabits, and point-to-multipoint non-line-of-sight, 6 miles, 40 megabits per second. And this is per the WiMAX forum and industry vendor group. Your mileage may vary. I want to emphasize WiMAX is not Wi-Fi, not even built on the same protocols, nor, as many people use today, the Motorola's proprietary Canopy product. The main reason, or the main difference is Wi-Fi has a range of around 100 yards, and is good for covering your home, your office, a coffee shop, a hotel lobby. Throughput can range anywhere from 11 megabits for 802.11b, 54 meg over the air for that 100 meters or 802.11g, and now the newly ratified 802.11n in the something like 200 megabits. Originally, there were a lot of security issues and quality of service issues and related to Wi-Fi. However, IEEE working group has come up with a lot of solutions for that. WiMAX, as I mentioned earlier, can go up to 6 miles non-line of sight, covering a city with just one base station. Again, throughput in the tens of megabits per second. And however, a lot, and as we'll go into in the following slides, many measures designed to support security and good quality of service on WiMAX. The significance as we see it today for WiMAX is that it's one of 2 standards for 4G last mile. LTE is other standard that people are looking for as a last mile solution. Majority of the broadband stimulus grant and loan applications were WiMAX based. That is, over 300 WiMAX applications were received out of a total of 1,130 infrastructure applications. That's almost a 2-to-1 ratio to fiber. The significance is that the fiber people were asking for twice as much money as the WiMAX people. There are over 200 deployments worldwide. WiMAX is the standard of choice for Clearwire and its partners, namely Sprint and Comcast. And as you may know, Clearwire is currently operating in Portland, Las Vegas, Atlanta, and with Sprint in Baltimore. We should see deployments in Chicago in the near future, and the purportedly